If you truly watched Gossip Girl from start to finish, you know that Blair Waldorf was never really the villain. She was simply always a young woman with princess energy who spoke her mind and knew her worth. Stick around to see if you resonate with these 10 signs that you are the Blair Waldorf of your friend group. You're a natural-born leader who people tend to gravitate towards. Blair was the queen bee on campus at her high school. Naturally, people flocked to be by Blair and conceded to her law whenever she spewed out rules. Is that how things go when you are hanging out with your friends? You'd never let it slide if someone hurt you or a person you love. Listen, there are tons of doormats in the world, but if you're like Blair Waldorf, you're not one of them. If you're capable of devising a revenge scheme when necessary, then you definitely understand Blair's vibe. You can be a bit dominating. If your energy is dominating enough to take over an entire room full of people, there's no doubt that you can resonate with a character like Blair. Everywhere she went, she knew how to dominate a situation or an environment. You're a bit of an overachiever. There's nothing wrong with having big dreams and aspirations. Resonating with Blair Waldorf means you live life as an overachiever because you know you're destined for greatness. You'd never settle for less in the dating realm, and you wouldn't expect your friends to either. Blair was disgusted by guys of a lower caliber trying to hit on her. She also found it repulsive if she noticed low-caliber men trying to hit on any of her friends. If you can relate to this, you definitely might truly be the Blair of your friend group. You struggle with frenemy dynamics. The friendship between Blair and Serena was blissfully loyal for most parts of Gossip Girl, but they also went through their fair share of frenemy moments. If you understand what it means and how it feels to have frenemies, you can definitely relate to Blair. You live your life in receiving mode. Blair was always the princess type who was ready to receive the most lavish and luxurious gifts from the men in her life, like Nate Archibald, Prince Louis, and Chuck Bass. If you feel you live life in receiving mode where you're comfortable enough to accept gifts, compliments, and attention from the people around you, then you have a lot in common with Blair. You've curated a wardrobe that's classic and sophisticated. One thing about Blair was that she prioritized fashion. It might have been the fact that her mother, Eleanor Waldorf, was a full-fledged fashion designer. If you've got a wardrobe that's both classic and sophisticated, then you're likely just as chic as Blair herself. You've been labeled a perfectionist at least once or twice in the past. Blair's perfectionism was a hugely motivating factor in the way she lived her life. Perfectionism isn't exactly the healthiest thing in the world, but if it's something you can relate to, then you might just be the Blair of your friend group. You're quite the extrovert. You'd have to be incredibly extroverted to relate to someone like Blair, who was always attending massive parties, events, balls, and galas. It was easy for Blair to socialize in any room she entered because of her confidence and self-assuredness. Are you truly the Blair Waldorf of your friend group? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section.